welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a sit-down chatty one. Hi, hello, how are you? I have split this list. It was a fall recommendation list, and I split it. So I'm going to do horror and thriller today in this video. And there's going to be another video that has like dark academia, fantasy. I don't think I have any sci-fi though. Oh wait, I do. So the next video will be dark academia, fantasy, sci-fi recommendations. I don't have any romance, to be honest, because I don't really read that much romance in the fall. Romance to me is very like summer, spring coded. So anyways, let's go through the list of these books. We're going to start with the ones that I don't have physically because I read them on my Kindle or something. It's really not that many. So it's like a short chatty video. I love it when I combine words like that. Isn't that so precious? Anyways, starting off strong. These are both Grady Hendrix books. One of them take with a grain of salt. First one is How to Sell a Haunted House. Scared the ever-living brown off of me. That one, I still keep looking over my shoulder because nope. There is an element, which I think it's on the dust jacket. Let me look really quick. Okay, so this story, has an element to the horror, and it has to do with puppets and dolls. And, no thank you. No thank you. I am, like, actually really scared of dolls and puppets and mannequins, people dressed up, like the Easter Bunny and stuff. No thank you. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I don't know why. This is just who I am. But I read How to Sell a Haunted House, and I actually really enjoyed it, despite being scared shitless a couple of times. I really enjoyed the story. I think it's really slow. Bear that in mind. Both of the books that I've read by Grady Hendrix, this one and the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, mouthful, also very, very slow. It's a very slow build, slow burn maybe. But I think the payoff is worth it. With How to Sell a Haunted House, I do feel like we got a little bit ridiculous towards the end, but the entirety of the story had a sense of like dark humor to it, like an undertone of dark humor to it. It worked really well. I actually really enjoyed it despite being really scared. I think it's a great like intro or entry level horror. You know, I think because it has those like funny moments, comedic relief going on, it's like a really good way to get into horror if you want to. With the book club vampire one, you could read it in the fall. I do feel like it's a little bit more summery, potentially, just because the atmosphere that Hendrix set in that one, it did give like muggy, mosquitoes everywhere, kids playing outside on their bikes and blah, blah, blah. That one I feel like gave me more summery vibes, but it's still considered a horror. That one was not scary in the least bit to me. It was horrifying, but it wasn't scary. Yeah, I will say, though, I enjoyed the housewives in the Southern Book Club one more than I enjoyed the two main characters in the Haunted House one. Everybody was cool. I liked all the characters in all the books, but the women in the Southern Book Club one, I don't know. They had a little bit more grit to me. I really, really, really enjoyed the ending to that one, too. Again, it might make your stomach turn, but overall, I think the two books I've read of Grady Hendrix, I would recommend for fall, specifically the How to Sell a Haunted House. They're just a lot of fun. They might scare you depending on like the stuff that you're not into, but they're just primarily a lot of fun to read. The last one that I don't have physically that I read on my Kindle was Suicide House by Charlie Donnelly. I've read a couple of his books. This one specifically, I think, fits the vibe for fall. For me personally, in the fall, I want a book that makes me feel like maybe there's somebody standing over my shoulder and I refuse to turn around to check. That's what I want. And I think Charlie Donnelly did a really good job with that one, especially because there is a part of the book that to this moment, having finished it, I finished it. I'm still questioning if the way things were happening is the way they were happening. It was really interesting. It was really good though. It was really good. Now, with that one, it's not dark academia, even though it is set in kind of like a school setting. I think it's like a boarding school or something like that. But it goes way past any like dark academia or anything like that. It just is a bunch of kids and bad things are happening. And they're not kids, they're like teenagers, but like bad things are happening and nobody knows who did it. And who might be doing it, and it's really interesting. And Charlie Donnelly books literally send me spiraling every single time. I don't think I've read one yet, and I think I'm like 4 deep, where I haven't sat there like after I'm done with it. He's just a really good writer. He's really good with suspense and those like psychological, like you don't really know but you think you know, and he's telling you and you still aren't sure if it's the truth. Like he's really good at that. He's kudos. He's really really good. I'd recommend any Charlie Donnelly book, any of his thrillers, but specifically Suicide House, because that one just gave, it was like foggy and misty and the kids were being weird, and I'm telling you, there's like an aspect to that book that I was like, is it, are you, what? And it was just a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun to read. That one did give me the heebie-jeebies at one point because they referenced something that I'm not going to say out loud. I'll put it on the screen if I feel like it. It wasn't a reference to this specifically, but it kind of played off of that idea. And I personally, as a child, was petrified of this concept, of this thing. I was terrified. So that really gave me the heebie-jeebies, like actual goosebumps. Like I had to close the book a couple of times. I was like, no, it's not. It can't be me. It can't be me. Another horror, Road of Bones by Christopher Golden. I did a vlog where I read this one. It was really good. It's not a jump scare. It's not a like monster type scary. It is rooted in Russian folklore. The main character's name is T, I believe. And they are traveling down this really long, desolate, cold, creepy, haunted road in Russia, the Kolyma Highway. And there's just like a whole bunch just goes left. Everything just starts going left. Things are not what they seem. And, you know, I would have turned around when we got to the town and there was nobody there. I would have turned around because, you know, you got to pick your battles. You got to know when you can win, when you might be able to win, and when you just got to tuck tail and run. It was fantastic. It probably took me the entirety of a day to read this book, even though it's like less than 250 pages, because I had to keep closing it. I was so stressed. It's such an aggravating book. It's so good. Like, I don't, that doesn't make any sense, but like, there were so many moments where I was like, why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Why did you open that? Why did you close that? Where are you going? Where's she going? Why are you following her? It's just one of those reads where you're like, oh, like, please stop. I don't like this. It's fantastic. Again, there's no jump scares. There's no like outward scary, but it just gives you the feeling of something being there. And like, you know, when you're in the shower, I can't be the only person that does this. You know, when you're in the shower and like you're washing your hair, like so your eyes are closed. I leave my eyes open now because I've scared myself so many times. And you're like, oh wait, what if there was somebody outside the curtain? And then you're like rushing to rinse the shampoo off. You can check. Literally, this book, it was so much fun. It was so good. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I will say the writing in that one feels very plain. Like it's not very flowery. It's not embellished in any way, shape, or form. But it's just how plainly Christopher Golden tells you the story, and I think makes it that much creepier, in my opinion. Like there was nothing to distract me from the fact that I was kind of scared the whole time. Okay, next up on the list, this is another horror. I think what I would call this, The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones and Road of Bones, is more like psychological horror. This one is rooted in Native American folklore and myths and legends and scary stories. And you have to do the audiobook. I'm sorry. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Highly recommend the audiobook with this. The narrator really brought these characters to life. Like I was just eyeball reading it at first, and I was on the verge of DNFing. I was like, this is kind of boring. Like it's not holding my attention. Turned on the audiobook because I saw it on Spotify, and I was like, yeah, why not? I was in it. I ended up restarting the book to finish it with the narrator. He did such a good job. He was fantastic. Like he added so much emotional depth to the characters. Like especially the first character, Lewis. There were so many points in Lewis's part of the story where I was like, are we hallucinating? Like, is this real? What is actually happening? And it was the narrator, because I was reading this, I was raw dogging it, and there was like nothing. I was like, oh, it's fine, it's okay. He did such a good job with this story. I do have to say, and this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad book. It's not a bad book. I'm recommending it because I think there's somebody out there that would also like this. The ending fell a little bit flat for me. Like, I think I just expected something more explosive. Yeah, I think I was expecting something more explosive and it just didn't happen. It was still a really good book. The ending was good. I think I just had the wrong expectations of the ending based on like how I had felt reading, especially Lewis's point of view. There's other guys in here. I don't remember what they're called, their names are, but off the top of my head. But Lewis stuck out the most to me because he was the most impactful. Like his section of the book was so emotionally charged for me. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Yep. The last three are thrillers. Cool. I probably should have done a better job of like keeping all the horrors together and then keeping all the thrillers together, but you guys know we don't, this channel's not about orderliness. Did I make that up? No, that's a word. Orderliness. It's a word now. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I know a lot of people don't like this book. I thought it was really fucking good. It was really fucking good. I couldn't stop. Again, I listened to this one primarily. I don't think I really read much of it, actually. I listened to it mostly, and there's a narrator for the young woman, Kit, and then there's a narrator for the older woman. I think her name is Lenora. Yeah. Fantastic. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And it does have, like, dual timelines, so, like, you do go back and then come forward and then go back and stuff. I thought he executed the shifts really well. Sometimes timeline shifts don't work, or they're choppy. I think he did a great job with them. They were seamless, in my opinion. And the characters in this one, I questioned everybody. I even questioned if this was, like, not just a thriller and if it was something else. Again, like Charlie Donnelly, you're sitting there and you're like, it's giving, there's something not of this earth going on. And what? And the twist, it's kind of like you're expecting the twist and you get really close to what you think the twist is going to be. But then when he reveals it, it's like, oh, wow, I was really off, actually. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was great. And he does set a really good atmosphere. Like, if you look at the cover, there's this, like, house at the top of this cliff. And the house is, like, crumbling and falling and, like, slanting down as though it's going to fall off this cliff into the ocean. What I just explained is the vibe of the whole book. The sun never shines. It's always raining. It's always foggy, misty. It's always like kind of cold, like the cold that seeps into your bones a little bit. That's the vibe that this book gives. It's fantastic. I loved it. I really enjoyed his writing. And again, the narrators for that one were fantastic. I loved them so, so much. Next up, Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Ely. This was good. I DNF'd this the first time I read it, actually. Yep. I think I read like the first, 50 pages of it, DNF'd it. I was bored out of my mind. I was like, I don't like this book. I went and I read something. I think it was The Shadow of the Gods or The Hunger of the Gods or something. Came back to it, devoured it. I finished it all in one day. I restarted it and finished it all in one day. It's one of those books you have to go in prepared to be patient. You have to be patient. You do. And not in a patient where it's kind of like, oh my God, get on with the story. It's more so you got to be patient enough to let the author build up the ante and build up your emotional attachment to the story. I think that's what got me the second time. I really went into it with a more open mind and I became more emotionally attached to the story and the characters. This is fantastic, especially if you want a psychological, slightly supernatural thriller with like feminine rage and revenge plot. He got his. They delivered on every end. I thought it was fantastic. Again, it is slow, but I don't know. I wonder if maybe if I read it now, if I would still think it was slow, because this was one of the first thrillers I read last year. And I wasn't really like a thriller person back then. So I wonder if maybe I felt like it was slow because I'm used to like more quick-paced, fast-paced books. I don't know. And last on this list, it's not my favorite book or anything like that, but it's the last one on the list. The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Definitely gives dark academia. It's set at a university, I believe. Yeah, it's set at Cambridge University. It has a ton of like Greek mythology and references going on. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, the entire time I was reading this book, I thought I knew. I was like, I know who did it. I know who's guilty. And I think it's because I just felt like a little bit crazed. Like I felt like a little bit off kilter. And I think that came from the FMC, Mariana, I think is her name. She herself felt like a little not all there sometimes. And I don't mean like quirky. I mean like sometimes it felt like she was imagining shit. Like she was just making stuff up because she was losing her mind. Like I felt like her. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I do have to say it's heavy, heavy, heavy on like the Greek mythology, Greek references. So if that's not something you like, if it's not something you enjoy, I don't know that you would love it. But if you do like Greek mythology, I think you'd really like this one because it was fucking fantastic. And Edward, he's grimy, he's slimy. I didn't like him at all. I didn't like him from the first page to the last page. I thought it was written really well. And apparently somebody in this book makes a cameo in The Silent Patient by the same author. So I probably will be recommending that one next fall. Who knows? I would 100% recommend. I thought it was great. Fantastic. Dark academia, Greek mythology. I loved it. But yeah, those are all the books I have for like horror and thriller recommendations for the fall. Like I said, the next video that I put out of this style will be dark academia and fantasy. I hope you guys, there was something on the list that intrigued you that you might want to pick up. Please drop your recommendations down below for fall reading. Mostly for myself, but also just in case like somebody else pops on the video and they want more, drop it down below. And as always, I miss you guys. It's been a long time since I recorded. I got like the little warm and tinglies just now. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it. You have no idea. I try to be cool and calm and collected, but I get really giddy. I will see you for the next video. And as always, happy reading.